Squallin' Joe Mayfield, the man at the forefront of this spectacular group. His blues are about as good as it gets. Although increasingly old, his desire for groupies grows ever stronger. Dr. Joseph Schrenkeller, 3-time Man of the Year and honorary German president. This man has more tertiary degrees than a circle. His aggressive blues is highly sought after on the black market. And finally, the man himself, Curtis Old Boy Drexel. His passion for whiskey and liquor is only equaled by his passion for the blues. Together, collaboratively, these musicians comprise the legendary blues outfit, the Bluesberries.
So, why did you join the Bluesberries?
It was actually some bizarre court order.
Well, it was quite a funny story, actually. I was going to a concerto one time. So, how did you join the Bluesberries?
Well, it was my calling.
Well, I don't actually know, but we're all in the same room with their instruments. I told them to get the hell out of my house. And they didn't listen. So they just started playing their instruments. And after 2 hours, and after the police came, I told them, look, I was drunk at the time, so.
Well, as soon as I met these guys, I thought, wow, these guys are insane. I have to show them my screenplay.
And after, hours of fist fights, I eventually locked them in the studio. I was really sick of fighting. I wanted to throw up. So I locked them in there, and I woke up I think 2 days later, and there's an album on there. So on the machine, the recording machine. I'm not really good with anything except the guitar. And that was how we recorded Sands of Time.
And after all of that, I woke up in a puddle of urine outside someone's house. Then Joe came up to me and said, "See you next week." So I came back next week, and all I remember is waking in the same position. Apparently, we had recorded our first album that evening, and that's how I remember it.
I brought my screenplay around to Joe's one night to show it to him, and Mr. Schrenkler was there. I greeted him and showed him my screenplay. I don't think he liked it very much. I think at one point he tried to burn it, but luckily I stopped him. Then Joe burst through the door and kicked me in the chin, and then they just started beating me up all night. It was insane. They were obsessed. And I think after that I woke up and we were in the studio, and yeah, that's all I remember.
Do you all contribute equally to the music?
Well, when I was living in Germany and studying physics, biology, chemistry, medicine, and all of my percussive skills, which of course are the best in the world, I sought out to play music, and then I joined with the Bluesberries, and I played all of the drums, and I contribute to all of the music. But they don't recognize that, the other two schmucks, at all.
Yeah, all the songwriting, that's my idea. I mean, the others, they'll say they pitched in, they say, oh, I was drumming on the album. No, wrong. I did all the songwriting.
Well, I do most of my songwriting drunk, so if any of my songs made it onto the album, I wouldn't remember anyway.
Oh, what instruments do you play? Oh, I play guitar, of course. Piano, 6-string steel banjo, and clarinet, saxophone, and of course the revolutionary slap violin.
Oh, well, I play the Hammond organ and the triple bass, And also the double barrel clarinet, which is a new one for me. I invented it, you know, it's me. And I occasionally sing on every song and album.
I play the percussion and the xylophone and the church bell and the ceremonial snare drum.
Of course, you burst upon the music scene with your first album, Sands of Time. What are your opinions about this album?
Well, not to boast, but that album is amazing. I can only listen to it when my wife is giving birth. It would be inappropriate to listen to it any other time.
Oh, well, that album is just, when I listen to it, I want to be with all my children, just gather them all around and serenade them as we bathe in gold, and that album is very powerful stuff. Oh, that album, I've made many a family that album. Oh, God. Even thinking about it gets me emotional.
Which Bluesberry song is your favorite?
I think I'd have to say Bosom of God. I mean, that song just took me 7 years to write. Non-stop. I was in the Bahamas at the time. So it's, have to be a close seconds though to Boston Genie Blues. That was that was a real classic. That really got us on the charts. You know what I mean?
Well, my favorite song would definitely be Mannequin Man. I mean, I find that to be so enlightening. I feel like I reached the state of nirvana just listening to it. It's just, my drums on it are just so soulful and powerful. And one time I was playing the song live, and I actually defecated on stage without even knowing. And I do pretty interesting things when I'm on stage that I don't really know about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, The Beach of Satan. That's probably my favorite song, but I can only play that one after midnight. I mean, the drugs don't kick in till then.
Do you have any inspirations?
My biggest inspiration, without a doubt, Barack Obama or Woody Allen. But it's a close second. What do you mean musically?
My greatest inspiration would definitely be the Bee Gees and Art Garfunkel. I mean, collaboratively. And they harmonically represent themselves so well, in my opinion. Their music is transcendent to the point of genius.
Well, I am my biggest inspiration. Spiritually, that is.
Joe, you're allegedly one of the best guitarists of all time. Could you give us some guitar tips and tricks?
Well, it's not the notes yet. Do.
Curtis, you're hailed as the primo bluesman of the 19th century. How did you find your love for the blues?
Well, alcoholism mostly, but I think when I was depressed as an infant, I'd put my blues records on and cry heavily, and I think that really developed my love for the blues. Well, this is our orchestra pit, you know. We don't actually have that much room in the studio, so we make them bunch up like this. This is actually how we have them set up. They have a tough time getting it. It takes about an hour, but it makes for that orchestra sound. We're halfway through recording our new album, Athens, and the Balls of Zeus. I think I'm not good with names.
I'm recording my guitar solos at the moment, so for my guitar solos I usually just take a lot of acid and knock myself out for 8 months and just record them. I haven't remembered a single guitar solo. It's all improv, and I'm pretty tired at the moment, so I usually prepare a pick-me-up. It's 2/3 up and go, 1/3 vodka. It's called the Up and Go Kill Yourself.
During my spare time that I get when I'm not drinking or having a heart attack, that is, I like to write lyrics and work on my solo stuff a bit. And one of my most proudest ones is probably social and ethical issues in IT. It's a concept story, loosely based on a wizard and a frog. Yes, they join Black Sabbath, and they turn into the greatest rock and roll band in the world. And it sort of loosely ties in with Wizard of Oz, but I don't know how. I think they stole my screenplay for that.
Liquidated. Can you believe that? No! No!
We've been liquidated. I can't believe it. I mean, you can't liquidate God, alright? You can't. You can't.
Though, Bluesberries are over. Going back to curing AIDS and shining shoes in my past time. And, yeah, it turns out this stupid film has torn us all apart. Well, it's supposed to be glorifying us.
So, we've been liquidated.
I mean, yeah, we were the best band in the world. Objectively. Yeah, we're the best ever musicians, but hey.
Turns out we were 1 month behind, 2 weeks into filming. I guess too much money on champagne and prawns in the morning. It wasn't good. Yeah. So basically, we're done. There's
Well, Bluesberries, they're coming to an end, and I'm a strong person. I can get through this. Bands are bands. I know that some other bands will need the funky stuff of me in their band, so that's those anyway.
What a bad film.